I think one of the hardest parts about growing up is looking back and wishing that you could pull yourself out of a fragment of your life and spare yourself the trauma of having to live through it. I was someone who used to think that if I was a little softer, a little more clear, that I would be easily loved, or that me being easy to be around was the same thing as being cherished and loved. And I spent years and years in that. You can be in rooms where you are fully liked but not really known, or you have a role in someone's life but you don't really have a place, and those two things might seem like they're the same thing, but eventually you realize that it's a very transactional thing, because if you were to strip away the role that you bring to someone else's life, then you no longer serve them a purpose. And it's very, very, very disappointing once you realize where you stand with people where you once either cared for them, or you cherished them, or you put them on a pedestal and they were high on your list of priorities, whereas you didn't really mean much to them. And the truth is, I let people walk all over me. I let them let me believe that I deserved less love and less care, and that what they were giving me was far more than what I deserved. And over time, it makes you become very hyper vigilant, because you start anticipating people's responses. You start reading tones and you pick up micro expressions that makes you eventually look like you're going crazy or that you're doing too much. And it becomes this never ending cycle where you don't understand if you are looking into it too much or if it's actually happening. If there's a racist cashier that is, ringing you up, nothing you do will make them more kind to you. And nothing you ever do for anyone that's has it out for you will ever be enough for them to think that you're a good person. And I think we make stories to make up for this hostile environment, and we tell ourselves certain things because it's easier to deal with it than the actual situation. But the main line is that for people that want to misread you, there is nothing, absolutely nothing you can do that can have them see you the way that you want them to see you, until they are ready to let go of this negative perspective that they have about you. What really all of this boils down to is that you cannot guarantee that everyone will understand you. You cannot make sure that everyone likes you. You can fully cater yourself to person A, and that will disappoint person B. And as you start catering yourself to person B, person A will get upset. And over time, let's say person C comes in, person A and B are nothing like person C. So what do? Do you cater yourself to person C? It keeps going on, A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth, until you realize there's nothing you can do that will cater to everyone in a way where it stays true to yourself. Person A will go home, person B will go home, so on and so forth, and you'll go home. But they're going home as their own respective people, and you're going home as a mix of A, B, and C. Eventually, it becomes this unfortunate cycle where you no longer recognize who you are, and you are just a mosaic of people. That's it. People say to sit in the hurt like it's a very clean and poetic choice, but for me it was a very gray area. It was very messy and it lasted way too long, or at least that's what I think now, but I know deep down that it lasted exactly how long it needed to for me to understand what I know today. I think for me, I understand why certain things are happening to me, but it takes me a while to act on them, simply because I either give people the benefit of the doubt or a lot of other factors. And like I said, it may seem like I was there for too long, but now I understand that it was exactly what I needed. Because at the end of the day, being aware of a situation is very different than taking control of it. You can be fully aware that you're drowning, but what you do to save yourself is what the control is. And I think I would still show up for people. I'd still answer the text and think, okay, maybe look at it next time. But over time, I started just picking up that I would rather be aware than unaware. And for some reason, that told me that I was one less step than complete damage. Honestly, I think the version of me that exists today is very, very grateful for the version of me that hated myself, or at least thought I deserved less than what I do today. And it sounds crazy, it sounds insane to say that, but I know now today what I shouldn't be going back to because of what I thought was okay back then. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to overly exaggerate the amount of hope that you should have for yourself, because at the end of the day, it's real life and not everything feels like victory. And when you grieve a certain person, a certain situation, a place or things, emotions, grief doesn't really ask whether or not something deserves to be grieved. You just do it anyway because that's who you are. You're human. And you have to understand that not everyone you leave behind is a villain, not everyone's a saint. But there are certain people that will never know the version of you that exists today. They'll either know the version of you that they've heard from others, that they've created a narrative about in their head, or a version that doesn't even exist anymore. And they can all either somewhat be close to who you are or not at all close to who you are today. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think, it matters what you know. You get to a point where you don't act for people anymore. You understand that if you wanted to act, you would have been a performer, you would have signed up for acting. It's no longer your responsibility to frame how you come off to certain people. You cannot control another person's perspective if they are 100% ready to take you the wrong way. And there's one thing I said once that really stuck with me, and I want to end the video on that note. It's to learn how to toughen up and give yourself the chance to be loved the way that you deserve it, and know that you can fully walk through the fire and clean your own wounds, and you don't have to wait on another person to pick you up. Get up yourself. Like I said, clean your own wounds and stop waiting on others to give you something that you know you can give to yourself. You know exactly who you are, you know exactly what happened to you, and you know yourself to the core so much that nothing anyone else says about you should ever have enough power to shake you up to the point where you don't understand who you are. Embrace yourself and keep moving forward, because at the end of the day, there is no one else that's going to be there for you but yourself.